The prosecution calls their witnesses, but Jax could never prepare herself for how she's blindsided outside the courtroom. What's good, y'all? She gets this Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Reasonable Doubt video. In this one, we are breaking down season 2, episode number 6, titled "This Can't Be Life." Cause child, that's exactly what it's giving. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of my The Reasonable Doubt conversations, contents, and all of the goodness that is the discussions around this dang on show. I'm your good sis, she loves to talk TV with, and I don't even know where to begin, y'all, if I'm honest. I don't know where to begin. I kind of want to start with Lewis, but then we also have the Cory Cash fantasizing about Jackson that ass of it all. That moment, I'm gonna go there, y'all. I'm gonna go immediately to that little daydream scene that he had where he just knew that Jax wanted him and he wanted Jax, and her eyes got all sleepy looking and he got all intent, and they ripped that man's shirt off, and I said, good Lord, Morris, good Lord. I fear my good sis Jax is in danger on multiple fronts, and she don't even know that the little storms are brewing on various fronts. Not only do you got your lying husband over here hiding a break baby, but you got your co-counsel and leader in the trial for your friend who is up against murder charges pining after you. You got his daddy also pining after you and being completely inappropriate. You got your raggedy kids being raggedy, wanting to show their body parts and do all types of things on social and hide it. Jax, girl, life is turning you every which way but loose, and you in my prayers, Miss Mamas. You could hang a suit. I swear, she literally will always keep the house looking nice. And by the house, I mean her. But meanwhile, it is a wreck on the inside. The outside is stunning. Lawn is manicured, not a blade of grass out of place. Windows are polished, shining, sparkling, if you will. But inside, it has been trash, wrecked, and I don't know if anybody's coming to clean it up. And I definitely think Miss Mama's going to need somebody to help her clean it up. Y'all, Cory Cash is pining after Jax, so it's only gonna be a matter of time. And it's not even that I'm not even giving my good sis any credit. It's Cory. Look at him. Listen to him. And while I started to draw various concerns early on in the season when we got introduced to his client, who he wants to ultimately be able to spin the win of Chanel's case into clemency for her, and I'm like, oh, he got nefarious ass motives. He not actually here for Chanel. This episode actually proves to me he is. He really is about this DV victim advocacy life. He really don't play about men putting their hands on women, men sex trafficking women, men doing goofy shit to women other than providing them pleasure. And we love to see it. Yes, we do. And we definitely love to see it in a chocolate ass package like Cory Cash. Seeing his father, which at first when he was first introduced, I was like, why are we getting this? I don't need to know this. But I was so glad that they actually gave us this, because it helped provide different context for viewing and taking in Cory Cash when you get to see a little bit of the backstory of his motivation, of his driving force, and specifically the trauma tied to some of his driving force. Ultimately, he wants the attaboy from his dad. He wants the help from his dad. So in addition to being motivated by wanting to protect and advocate for women in very trying, strenuous, abusive times, he also wants the attaboy from his damn dad. And who can't relate to that? I mean, some people might can't, but I can relate to it, and I get it. But your dad is raggedy as hell. I don't give a damn how many cases he argued in front of the Supreme Court. He might be aging like fine wine. He might give what need to be gave of the granddaddy fine black man, but he's raggedy AF. Throw the whole damn daddy away. And a little sentimental moment of like, oh, maybe I can adjust and da 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 da. I was already off your ship. I had already jumped ship by that point. Throw the whole damn daddy away. Cash, you're going to need to go ahead and validate yourself. You're going to need to stop focusing so heavily on the continuing the legacy that your father had built off of the back of his dad and trying to keep it going, because he's working against you. And he's out here spinning his wheels as well, being goofy, but then trying to judge you, talking about some, why ain't you married? Aren't you hitting on a married ass woman who is like 20 to 30 years your junior? Asking him why isn't he married? Have you seen your son? Child, I'm all over the place with this damn breakdown. I'm very sorry, y'all. But this episode, while it seemed so much more simple on first watch and like easier to digest than previous episodes, because I had so much angst in the previous episodes versus this one, it was a very calm watch. Now that I actually have to like recall what happened and talk about it, I am finding myself getting elevated because the audacity of so many of these people, including the goddamn prosecutor, the case that she made around Chantel, not her name is not Chantel, Erica, Chanel, about Chanel knowing which buttons to push to get JT mad. I said, is this little white hoe saying what I think? Baby, I am definitely not one of the Lord's strongest soldiers, because the way I would never be able to sit in the position of a woman that like is sitting in the position of Chanel, and there are real women every day who might be experiencing something like this after they come out on the other side of a domestic violence situation that man didn't come out, and they got to fight for their life in court, and sit up there and listen to a goofy ass prosecutor talk about you knew what buttons to press. I'm sorry, ma'am. I knew what buttons to press to make this man mad and knock my head loose for 13 years in a damn marriage after giving him 2 kids, almost dying in childbirth. What exactly are you saying? Like, there is no moment where I am actually going to be able to see it for this goddamn prosecutor. And I was trying because it seemed like she's ambitious. It seems like she really just wants to do her damn job. But when you get your ass up on the stand and you get the shucking and jiving for the patriarchy and for misogyny, and you base your case on she knew what she was doing and she just know which buttons to press, as if it's not the man's responsibility, even if they're all buttons to be pressed, to deactivate them hoes himself. That's why they got therapy. Yeah, they got soft ass, plush ass, leather ass couches for everybody to sit on if you need it. Because if you running around here with trigger buttons and then somebody got a trigger finger, that is your fault, sir. Why are you allowing yourself to be triggered while we're trying to put it back on Chanel talking about some she knew what? Child, that part I will say probably was the most triggering in the moment for me, of like, how dare she? And then Chanel just got to sit there and take it. Now, we don't get a ton of reactionary responses for Chanel. This whole episode is really about the prosecution putting their witnesses on the stand. And I'm guessing next week's episode, because I haven't read the synopsis yet, y'all, but y'all can talk about it in the comment section if you have. I'm assuming that next week is going to be the defense putting their witnesses up on the stand. And it's less about, the actual interactions with Chanel, and it's more about fleshing out the story and the world around her, which ultimately created a different tone. The overall tone of the show is still the same, but like, it just shifted the energy and the momentum that we have been experiencing. We start this episode off though, right where we left off, with Adrian and Jax meeting, and she's able to coax the gun out of his hand, agree to help him. Adrian really does love her. Jax is full in belief that he's the one who actually did it, and she's hell-bent on trying to get this man to confess on the stand. Luckily, he wants to do something as some grand gesture to show Chanel that he actually does love her. So it winds up working out, even though Jax doesn't get the confession that she wanted, because girl, he didn't do it. Little bird brain didn't do it. And yes, he has a gun in his hand, and yes, your life is at risk, kind of, sort of, but even the way he was flailing the damn gun around, he didn't want to be there. His back is up against the wall. He's desperate, and he happens to really be in love. So you were fine. He was never going to kill you. He was never really going to shoot you. This was a cry for help. Unfortunately, he did it in this means, and child, when they gave us that quick flashback to Naima, y'all, I said, my subscribers are going to eat my ass up in this live, because I go live on Thursday nights to talk about Reasonable Doubt. I said, they're going to eat my ass up because the way I smiled. I know, I am the problem in this moment. I am the problem. The way that I smiled like a damn Cheshire cat seeing Damon's ass again, even for a split second. Y'all, I fear that man has implanted something in my brain, and I don't have control over it. I swear I'm trying. But for a moment, I said, Lord, ooh, good Lord, thank you. Yes. But we're going to move on, because I'm going to leave y'all plenty of space tomorrow to just go ahead and say, Erica, you know damn well. Y'all got it. Y'all right. My hands are up. You can't see it, but my hands are up, I promise. Going back to the prosecution's witnesses, in addition to her goofy ass narrative about Chanel knew which buttons to press, and that's why she's here, and she killed the man because she loved the press his buttons, she trots out so many people who are also, well, not so many, because it's really just like, I think the little white coach man or the assistant coach, the little clown who also testified or like big upped a man who actually killed his wife. Yeah, that's how you do it, Cory. You flip it and reverse it. Ma'am, it's given the prosecutor needs a co-counsel and she needs some help, because girl, these are all your witnesses, and even with the slanderous things some of them were saying, it was still working in Chanel's defense, because you're barking up the wrong tree, ho. The real estate agent, we thought it was going to go left in the moment of like, oh, she was down there looking at houses with Adrian, but she was talking about her kids every last time, every moment, talking about the kids. We need a pool for the swimmer. Immediately, yes. Point for Chanel. Adrian gets his ass up there, and she just knew. The prosecution just knew it was hook, line, and sinker. Put the lover up there and make them confess to the damn affair. He finds out he really does love her, and he wished that he would have been the one to do it, and she couldn't have possibly, like, literally introducing all types of doubt. And we love to see it. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Jax and Cory make a great team, and if they don't leave this season, starting their own practice together, I get the sexual tension is gonna be there, because Cory wants to blow Jax's back all the way to Mercury, like out of here, out. It's gone, missing. Put out an APB for Jax's back around with Cory. I get it. But they also make a very great team once they have decided to actually work together. And it's wonderful to see, because the way they handle each and every one of these witnesses, I was just like, yes, chef's kiss immediately. Now let's go ahead back to the lying ass husband who's lying for no reason because he had sex with a hoe while him and his wife was on a break, and he know that his wife has had sex with another hoe while they was on a break. So the sex is not actually the problem, the lying is the problem, and the lying you introduced now when you could have introduced it in couples therapy, the safest place where you could actually do it. You running around here suffering from erectile dysfunction, your mind is all off, you can't figure it out, you think that Jax is not going to be perceptive enough to see something is off. She clocks you lying at the damn hospital, only for TMZ to run a photo of Tony's ass with your ass on the side. Back of your head, like Jax ain't gonna recognize that broke ass hand of yours and that goofy ass fade. Louis, get your sir, I'ma tell you. If Jax ain't gonna tell you, I'ma tell you. Get your shit and take it back to wherever the house is that you was at before. Yeah, that season 1 house, we gonna need that back. Bye. Cause we can't. Jax has been making too much progress, has been blossoming beautifully, and in this episode she actually has a conversation with her therapist, because she calls for like an emergency session. She's like, I feel like I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's because you're surrounded by people that you can't trust, unfortunately, and right now it's your goddamn husband. Terrible, nasty work, if you will. He come in after a run, calls his brother at the end of the episode, talking about something. I'm gonna tell Jax. She didn't already found out, so now it's too late. All the time that you had to tell her ass, you didn't tell her, and now you want to tell her? Get yo Louis. And I think that's all I got, y'all. Let me know what you thought about the episode in the comment section down below. Again, I will be live at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, September 19th. If you are catching this before then, join me on live. And if you're catching this after the fact, go ahead and watch the live replay, because we be cutting up and have conversations, and I love the little kikis each week. Thank y'all so much for watching. Again, give this video a like, and I'm gonna head to the comment section and see what y'all talking about.